So when talking about making ads that people actually want to click, it's less complicated than a lot of people believe if you follow these few steps. The first one is matching the awareness level. For example, if I'm only aware that I have a problem, I won't resonate with an ad that talks about the product, only about the problem. The other element is selling the click, or more specifically, selling each step at a time. So if I make an ad for problem-aware people, in the video where I educate them on the next step, which would be how to become solution aware. So I tell them, hey, if you have this problem, click here to watch a video on the different types of solutions that are out there for you. And then in the video, I say, if you want to know which of these specific solution is the right one for you, let's book a meeting. So instead of saying book a meeting on the ad, we simply sell each step one at a time. In one ad, there's different types of element. We're going to start with the ad structure. So this is an ad structure, very basic for static ads, meaning images. So the first one is a call out. The second is where you deliver the value, and the third is the call to action. We're going to look at each one individually right now. So the first one is the verbal call out. There's different types of ways of calling out your audience. The first one is with labels. For example, I can make an ad and say financial advisors, or more specifically, financial advisors making over $10,000 per month. I can either write it here in a static image, or I could say it out loud in a video ad. The other type of callouts are yes questions. So for example, I could start my ad by saying, are you struggling to keep your business growing? Or do you think it's hard to stay organized? If the person says yes, they are going to want to keep watching the ad. Then we have what we call if statements. So if you're concerned about data security, our services can protect your information. So that's another way of specifically targeting people in this scenario that are problem aware because they're concerned about data security. Then we have nonverbal callouts. Nonverbal callouts apply even if you already have a verbal callout. So for example, this man is asking as a verbal callout, do you recognize this average looking person? So it is a yes question callout, but he also has the nonverbal callout of contrast, because it is so visually aggressive that it will attract your attention. Then we have nonverbal callouts, like for example, likeness. So either you have the same problem as the person, or you look exactly or very similarly to that person who is in the video. And then we have scene callout. So for example, we could put a video of a person turning and tossing themselves in bed if it's an ad about sleeping problems. Now that we know how to call out your specific audience, how do we deliver value? The first thing we need to do is create your angle. So for example, I make an ad about weight loss. I can make an angle based on the what, who, when framework. For example, do you want to be able to get a six-pack in less than 2 months without having to sacrifice eating out? Guaranteed, right? So I include the 4 elements of the value equation to say the what, then to continue my angle. So do you want to have a six-pack in 2 months without having to sacrifice going out or eating out? Guaranteed. And then who would be so that you can attract your desired partner when in the next year or next month, whatever. So that's how I create an angle that someone who exactly wants that will want to know the value elements of my offer. So now what would be the value elements of our offer? We simply want to tell the people who are watching our ads what they're going to get in exchange of their contact information. So for example, in that weight loss ad, I could say, watch this short video that's going to explain to you a 2-month, 6-week, whatever program for weight loss or for a six-pack or whatever desired outcome. Now, the last step is the call to action. There's different types of call to actions that we can do based on the different types of funnel. So for example, a direct to offer funnel is when we say, hey, get this outcome guaranteed, let's say. So in the call to action, I could say, hey, fill out the form to get X outcome guaranteed. In the value funnel, it's like I've been saying so far. So it would be, watch this video on Y subject to get X outcome. And there's the hybrid between the two. So it would be, watch this video to learn how we can guarantee X outcome. Now, if you have a guarantee, something to take into consideration is that you can put in the video that certain conditions apply. So for example, if your guarantee is that you help people buy their first house in less than 2 years, you can add certain conditions apply, because of course certain people won't be able to do that, but you're still able to attract a lot more people by adding that guarantee in your ad. So now let's talk about copywriting. Copywriting is the written version of sales. So whenever we write ads, so on Facebook above an ad or on Instagram below an ad, there's going to be what we call copy, right? We recommend what's called the PAS framework. So problem, agitate, solution. This is a very simple way of writing your copy. This format is mainly based on agitating emotionally your prospects. So it's rather straightforward. Simply, you mention the problem. So are you struggling to keep your business afloat with declining sales and increasing competition? Then you agitate them. Every day that passes without a solid strategy, your competitors are pulling ahead and your dream and successful business feel like it's slipping away. The sleepless nights and constant stress are taking a toll on your health and well-being. This is simply making the point that your problem is actually bigger than what you think it is. So we're agitating, and then we deliver the solution. So our comprehensive marketing program will turn your business around, etc., etc. So a couple of key points to remember is that we want to be empathetic. We don't just want to make them feel bad. We have to be empathetic about their situation. So second point, we have to be specific. The more specific we can be about the problem and the solution, we make our message more relatable and credible. For example, I can say travel. That's my ad. That's very specific. If I go and say travel to Europe, that's a little more specific. If I say travel to Spain, that's a lot more specific. But if I say travel to this specific Airbnb in Malaga that's going to have these types of amenities, if I'm the one person looking for that, I'm going to instantly buy that specific product or rent that Airbnb, because it's so specific that the people that it's relatable to will relate. Third point is using emotion. Like I mentioned, clarity, extremely important, specifically in the call to action, because if people are confused about what to do next, they won't take action.